All right, boys, today we have our college football bets. It is Friday, September 20th. There's a few games on today. We're not going to worry about those. We have Saturday's games. We have 3 locks for you today. I've already posted them on Pickett, so if you're a little bit ahead and you're signed up on Pickett using code BDGE, you'll see all those bets early, but we're going to go over them in a longer form YouTube video for you today. I'm going to try to fire through them fast so we're not here too long, not wasting too much of your time. But we have write-ups on all of them. I'm going to shrink myself down here, and we're going to get started straight into it. Hopping on UD here first. And we're going to take Jaylen Daniels over 30.5 rushing yards. And the reason why we like that is simply because he's going to be a big presence in this game. Having over 10 rushing attempts in back-to-back games. We could pull up his prop.cash right here. That's passing yards. Let's go to rushing yards. Let's go to the big game. Kansas versus West Virginia. He's had back-to-back games hitting over this line this season, 35 and 65 yards. One of those against Illinois. Illinois is a much better defense than this West Virginia defense. Let's cut that straight out. There's really no argument there, as we've seen so far. Illinois now ranked. I think that defense looks a lot better than this West Virginia defense, who also gave up a lot of rushing yards to not as mobile quarterbacks. You look at Drew Allar in game 1, was able to scramble almost at will, and he's not a rushing guy. I get he's a bigger body, sure, a little bit harder to tackle, but Jaylen's a guy who can get after it in multiple ways. One, they use him in the run game. Not only that, but they have a very vertical passing scheme, which allows a lot of lanes to be open, which again opens up easy rushing lanes outside of the pocket. He can roll out. He can take some runs there. Again, 10 rushing attempts plus in back-to-back games, 10 and 11 rushing attempts. Obviously, in game 1, he didn't need to. Blowout game. We don't worry about those. But in back-to-back games, again, the big one we're looking at is Illinois. That's going to be the better representative of these types of as the game for this weekend. Again, I like Garrett Green. That's why I mentioned him earlier. Again, he's also hit this back-to-back games, had multiple rushing attempts in 7 and 11. He's another guy really speedy, and they like to get him involved in the run game to add that dual threat action to make it hard to have a force a QB spy, all that sort of stuff for the defensive end to try to give them that confusion. I like both of these bets, but I do lean the Jaylen side. West Virginia seemed to be more susceptible to giving up runs by the quarterback. They have just a worse defensive line from everything I've seen from all the stats that I've looked at. It looks like West Virginia seems to be the more susceptible team. Their DNs rush up the field way more. Again, easier for him to escape out of the pocket. I think we're going to see a good amount of QB draws out of Kansas today as well from the gun. Could make for a lot of mix. I think he easily goes over the 10 rushing attempt mark. If he goes over 10 rushing attempts, I think he smashes his line. Again, both these lines are good, though. I'm taking both sides. But again, if you're not signed up on Pickett and you want all of the bets, you want all the details, I list them here on Pickett. They're right in front of you now. We'll go over all of them in front of you. But if you want them as early as possible, get the best lines, get the best odds, make sure you're taking all of these bets on Pickett using code BDGE. It's absolutely free to sign up, and it takes no effort really at all. The link is in the description. Our second bet we're going to be going to, and one that I really like, Donovan Edwards over 54.5 rushing yards. Playing a USC team that has been susceptible to big rushing plays. Hence why, if we have it here on a UD, his longest rush is set at 16.5. That's a very high longest rush yard, considering he hasn't even come close to that mark yet. If, again, we pull up rushing yards, we go down to the Michigan game. He hasn't not even been close to the longest rush yard with only 12 and 8. Obviously, Texas, it was a very out of proportion game for them. They had to pass the ball. They had to force passing the ball, even though they can't pass the ball. They have a new quarterback again this week, which is another reason why I really like this line. I think they force feed Donovan Edwards this game. He's going to be a back they have to rely on with Alex Orji in the backfield, but Orji can run a little bit, which again, it could open up easy RPOs, open more lanes, hold that linebacker in that far side of the box to where he can't come and help out, and that opens up some more running lanes for Donovan Edwards as well. Having a guy being held at the line is huge because it makes a 6-man box, a 7-man box into a 6 and a 5, which again gives you heavy advantage there in the running game. Now, do I think they're going to probably stack the box to start the game, make Alex Orji throw? Sure. So I think it could be a slow start for Donovan, but at the end of the game, I think Alex can open up the passing game even a little bit more, as long as he doesn't throw 3 picks in the damn game and look absolutely horrible, which I don't think he will. He's shown some spark here and there. And again, this Michigan team around him is too good to really not have those options to rely on in that passing game. I think he can make stuff happen, open up the game a little bit more for Donovan. I think Donovan, again, saw 17 carries last game. He could see something similar again today. And I think Michigan, with the defense they have and how USC struggled against even LSU's defense in the first 3 quarters of that game, they could struggle again here today against Michigan. And I think Michigan can be in a position where they do want to run the rock a lot more and control the clock. No, all these bars and rhymes. And we're going to go to our last bet. Again, wasting no time here. Want to get in and out as fast as possible for you guys and make your lives as easy so you know exactly what bets, when to bet them, how to bet them, and what I'm taking and what I have confidence in. And that is Nico. Nico can't pronounce his last name, but we do have him over 257.5 passing yards. I would try to pronounce it, but I always butcher it, so not even going to attempt that one. But Nico is a young quarterback in a new offense, but he plays if you remember Hendon Hooker. Now, again, a lot of you guys you'll remember exactly how he plays. If you're betting on college, I would assume you probably kept up with college in the past, and most of the people that are watching this, ironically, are older than me. So you definitely remember Hendon Hooker, and Hendon Hooker played a very similar style to Nico in this offense. And if you remember, Hendon, before his ACL tear, was in the Heisman Trophy race. I think Nico, being in the position he is, can easily do something of the same here. Again, that's rushing yards. We're going to look at passing yards here. Again, he absolutely smashed this in game one, but they haven't needed him since then. It's been all blowouts for this Tennessee team. They've not had a game that's close. They've not even relatively been in competition yet. They're the number 6 team in the country. They're rolling on both sides of the ball. Nico's a very systematic quarterback, again, comparing the Hendon Hooker take, where he doesn't need to make these super advanced reads. He doesn't need to be going to his third option down the field. This offense is made to where he looks one direction, he knows where the ball is going, and it is option choice routes. So either he knows he's throwing a post, he knows he's running a hitch, he knows he's running a go, he knows exactly what it's going to be, where the defense lines up from the get-go, which makes it very easy for him and the processes he needs. As long as he puts it on the money, this offense should roll. I think they're going to roll against an Oklahoma team that looks very, very scary. I don't have much confidence in this Oklahoma team, and neither do the books, having the line at 7.5. With that being said, I think this game, I don't think it's going to be a crazy out of proportion game, but I think Tennessee wins this pretty comfortably, and I think they do it through the air. I think Oklahoma is going to try to force Nico to pass the ball. Obviously, he has a lot of weapons around him. I think he can get it done at a pretty high level. And again, we look at the running attack. Obviously, the line's set at 86.5, so I think the books are leaning more towards an easy Tennessee win here. They're going to get the rushing attempts. What's his rushing attempt line? Do we have it up? We don't. I would say it's probably going to be pretty high for Dylan. He's looked really good outside the gate. Again, they haven't really played anybody, where I think Nico's going to be needed way more in this offense today. His completion line is set at 19.5. If he completes 20 balls today, this will be the easiest over you can take. Again, we're getting it at a discount since he hasn't really played anybody. And I think this game is going to really prove that and cement that Nico is going to be a guy that we're going to look to over the next 2 years in this Tennessee offense. He's going to command. He's a very, very high prospect coming out. He's had a ton of hype. He's even in the Heisman race. Technically, he has some of the highest odds so far with how well Tennessee's been rolling. But again, they haven't really played anybody, so we're looking towards the future here. Again, his line here, it says 265.5, but you can get it on Underdog at 257, as you see right in front of me. These are the lines we have. These are the 3 bets. These are my 3 best bets for today's or tomorrow's slate when you're seeing this. Jaylen over rushing yards, Donovan Edwards over 54.5, and Nico over 257.5 passing yards. If you want all the write-ups to this, follow us on Pickett. And again, also, if you're wondering what this site is, it's props.cash, as you can see right here at the top. Props.cash, we're not personally sponsored by it, but I am. If you use code GUT25, you get 25% off your first month. I think it's a total of $15. So we can take advantage of that. But these are the 3 bets we have. Jaylen Daniels, Donovan Edwards, Nico, lock them in. I love these plays. I'm going to be obviously placing them myself. I already placed them on Pickett, so make sure you follow me there and keep up to date for all my NFL, college football, Thursday night football, Monday night football bets, and when I place them the earliest, as you'll get updated as soon as they are placed. And I'll catch you guys next time. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that sort of fun shit down below. We kept this one short for y'all so we can rip out these bets and get them in your slips as fast as possible. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.